What up, everyone? Welcome back to Blade Bias. Today is a video that I have been wanting to make for a long time about a balisong that I've had for a little bit, but I've known about for even longer. And that is the Tay Flipper. I guess you'd call it the Tay Flipper Calico. This is not essentially a Tay Flipper V2 because it was supposed to be a Tay Flipper V2, and then Tay decided that it really didn't fit as a Tay Flipper V2 because of how much he had changed about it. So while he still discontinued the original Tay Flipper, which I do have right here actually, he did not say, like, this is not a V2. Even though the design language is very similar, you can tell a few different differences. I don't know what I'm trying to say. A few different differences, really. You can tell a few differences. And I just wanted to go over it today because the Calico is probably my most anticipated balisong drop, especially plastic, since the Vulp. There are two balisongs that this summer I tried and have been on my mind constantly since I tried them. One of them being the Vulp, but the Vulp is out now. The other being the Calico. So I was actually the first flipper to try the Calico. Tay had told me that I was pretty much the first flipper to try it. A few other people had tried it before me, but there weren't people who were actually like into balisongs. And he had showed it to me, and I was immediately impressed. So he showed it to me, and I was like, "What weight is this?" Because I picked it up, and it just feels substantial. And he was like, "Guess." So I was like, "Okay, I have the old Tay Flipper. I know what that feels like. I guess 2.8 ounces." And he was like, "Nope, it's exactly the same." And to this day, if I didn't know it was exactly the same, you couldn't convince me that it was exactly the same. This thing feels like it is so much heavier than it actually is. And as someone who already doesn't really like super light balisongs, that instantly got my attention. The other thing that instantly got my attention was this. Now, granted, this is a dry balisong or a dry Calico that I haven't really tuned that well. So Tay is probably going to be like cringing as he watches this. Tay, I swear I have oil coming for this thing. All I have on me is Canto thick, and it wouldn't work in there. So I'm getting actual oil that I can put in this thing. But it's a plastic balisong that actually sounds good. I have long hated the sound of plastic balisongs. Tay Flipper is no different. That like clap and like the rattle that it has when you flip it, I absolutely despise. Even though I love the Tay Flipper, and I still do. We'll get into the differences of the Tay Flipper and the Calico in a different video. But it just, like, this is the first plastic balisong that I heard, and I genuinely went, whoa. That sounds genuinely good. I'll get you guys a sound test when I actually like lube this thing, but it just sounds and feels good. It's a plastic balisong that flips like a metal one, has one of the most interesting balances I've felt in a plastic balisong, yet still remains fairly neutral because it can fan. Now this thing, what's different about it, there's a ton of weight in the end of the handles, and you can feel that. It sticks to your finger. If I could describe anything else, it would be like a Nemesis on steroids, where no matter how hard you try, that thing is not coming off your fingers unless you really crank it. And it just glues itself to any rollover based tricks. But the thing is, it can still fan. It still fans relatively well, and that's awesome. So this has just created an experience that I'm just like, holy cow, I love this thing. And I genuinely did love this thing. I have a video of me trying it and just being like, wow. And then a few months later, Tay came back down to visit when Ty was up here to visit. And he was like, yo, I'll bring you guys a beta unit. And I was absolutely stoked out of my mind because I had been thinking about this thing for ages, planning on buying one, all that stuff. And he got a beta for it. If you recognize this one, this is actually the product photo This is one of the ones he used in the product photo for the announcement of the Calico. The other one being Ty's, and then the other one being his personal one. And that's like, that's just super cool. I genuinely love this thing. And it's not me being a shill. It's not me being like, oh, Tay and I have met up in real life, so now I'm going to shill him. It's like, no, this is genuinely the best flipping experience I have felt on a plastic balisong yet. And I just love it. There are still merits to having an original Tay flipper. If you have an original Tay flipper and you like plastic balisongs, they're flipping wise, they are different enough to merit owning both. I was planning on selling this to buy this. Now, I don't think I'm going to, just because, you know, they're different enough. But I'll get into the differences in another video. I've been rambling long enough. Look for some more content on Blade Bias and my Instagram, and eventually a full-fledged video on the Calico. But I have a Calico. I'm a beta tester for the Calico, and I love this thing. Genuinely, genuinely do. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace out.